Welcome back, you matriarchs of fandom. This is your second show. I'm proud to say that you guys come together. Although we are missing some of the ladies, like real life comes in there and stops everything from happening. So we have here the first lady of fandom, Miss Liz from the Cosmic Portal in the 757. We have Lady Gray from the Fraternal Order of the Jedi. And we have Miss Patricia, who is the ambassador to the Proud Warriors of Kronos, which is the Klingon group, and the IKF Klingon group. So, ladies, I wanted to ask you a few questions about all the little sexiness that we're seeing on screen, TV, and comic. But before we get to that, I want to go ahead and ask you guys about your favorite characters. Now, of course, we wanted to know fandom from a woman's point of view. So it does not have to be a female for your cosplay or your favorite character, but this is how we're going to do it. So feel free to answer however you want to. So what character do you most want to cosplay? And I'm going to start with the moderator of the group, who will be taking most of this over, Miss Lady Gray. I'm sorry, dear, you're on mute.
I'm riding the struggle bus today. So from the moment I saw his costume, I loved Kylo Ren's costume. He was like badass personified. When he walked into the room, he was all black. He kind of floated. So that's what, and I actually did it about a year ago. I did a gender bent Kylo Ren, and I called her Kylo Ren. And I have to say that costume was probably one of the most powerful I've ever felt in any costume.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. I'll have to throw it up on the group sometime.
All right. What?
Did you say something?
Yeah, your favorite, your cosplay.
I'm sorry, I got distracted by a cat. She grabbed my toes.
Ms. Liz, your cosplay that you always wanted to do.
Well, I've already done it. I love my Professor McGonagall costume because it works very well for me. Now, if I'm going to go with something that isn't female, I would go with Doctor Who, which I've done two different Doctor Who's. And
Sweet.
And then the other ones I have are, like Star Trek. And I always liked Major Carter from SG-1, as far as girls are concerned.
Excellent. Miss
That's
Patricia.
pretty much it as far as, at least I can get costumes for them, because I don't do sexy. I just ain't got the body for it.
Who does?
Miss Patricia.
Good evening.
And the cosplay that you would like to do most or have done?
I have done an original series Klingon female commander. It worked really well. It was a powerful looking outfit. And then I wouldn't mind doing either Kalar, Cirilla, or Grilka. They're all powerful, strong women.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. All right, ladies, the second question. Who is your favorite character and what do you like about their costume? And we're going to start with Miss Lee's.
Oh. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Who's my favorite? I'd have to go with Professor McGonagall because she is one badass professor. Even when she was younger, she didn't take no guff from nobody. And I just like her. She's just, down to earth. She's magical. She definitely knows how to keep those young witches and warlocks and she also keeps the other professors in line and so on and so forth. So she's a very strong character, and I like her.
Good enough. Good enough. All right, Miss Patricia, we got Jedi Joe saying what's going on. Hi, ladies. And then you, of course, have
Hi,
Miss
Jinxie.
What's up, my sisters? Wow. Okay. So, Miss Patricia, your favorite character and what do you like about their costume?
I would say Grilka because she's the first female to get her own house after she kidnapped poor Quark. But she's a strong female to be able to run a whole house, a whole household, soldiers, ships, and everything. And then I would say Kalar for being the ambassador that she was, dealing with different people, different aliens, as it were. And then I do like Molly Weasley. I will throw her in. She's a pretty strong female, too.
Very good. All right, Miss Lady Gray.
Well, so Professor McGonagall and Molly Weasley are both pretty BA characters. My sisters are right about that. But I think my OG favorite, it has to be Leia. And she didn't have really any one outfit. She knew how to dress for the occasion. When she had to dress up, she knocked your socks off. But when she had to get down and get into battle, she wasn't afraid to put on boots and, a helmet and grab a blaster and go to town. So.
And that's kind of the starts of the strong women roles that we started to see, with Leia, coming out of the 70s, and of course then Sigourney Weaver. It was just that those type of women, and I think Leia was kind of really, like you said, one of the first ladies that kind of took charge. She was a princess, but she was one of those first ones that, oh, save me! She grabs the blaster,
Yeah,
the garbage chute, Flyboy, and I was like, "Ooh, okay,
yeah,
all right, ladies." Now this is where the real discussion begins, and I love this question because there's so many avenues we can follow. All right, so the industry always portrays you ladies as a very sexual object when it comes to their costuming. And let's be fair about this. if we had half the comic book heroes dressed as women, it would be I don't know. It would be something. It would definitely be something. Um, and you know, obviously that goes along with the age of the character and the person portraying this character. So let's open up this discussion about females and how they're dressed in the fandom. You know what I mean? Now, I've always said this. I'm a big Batman fan. I'm a I'm an overweight guy. I would never put on a Batman costume because I think that would do a disservice to the character. But if I see a larger woman in a Wonder Woman costume, I would pretty much be cheering her on because she's not ashamed of her body size, and you know she's out there doing her thing. You know what I mean? She's out there strutting her stuff in her Wonder Woman costume, and she's proud. And I like that. I like that. You know, that self confidence in a person. It just happens for me. Like I said, you know, I couldn't do it. Being a Batman fan, I just couldn't do it. Being overweight and being a Batman fan, I couldn't. I couldn't put on that costume. How do you guys feel about that? And of course, the lack of material when it comes to putting on a costume. And Lady Gray, I'm going to field this one to you first.
Of course. Um, you know, I think it just really sets unrealistic standards. You know, an unrealistic ideal of what a woman should look like. I mean, how many of us actually do? When you could costume someone in an equally beautiful manner that doesn't overly sexualize them. I don't know. I think it sets a really bad example for the younger generation of what they think they should be.
No, I totally understand that. Miss Patricia, that question goes to you.
I think you don't have to expose a lot of skin to be sexual. It's all about how you carry yourself, the confidence you have in yourself, the way you project your aura, for a lack of a better word, that can put out the vibes that you're looking for without revealing a lot. And sometimes it's more sexy to not show a lot of skin.
I totally agree with that. Miss Liz?
Well, it's just one of those things we've had to put up with for forever and ever. It's a male dominated society, so they gotta make the girls look as hubba hubba as they can possibly make them so that they can go googly eye and go, okay. They'll dream about Princess Leia and that outfit where she was wearing next to nothing. And let me see. The Orion slave girls, uh, Cleopatra,
Wow. You're,
all that stuff like that. I mean, it's just one of those things.
yeah, you're making me feel really bad. As the only male here on this panel, because you're right. Wonder Woman was invented by a guy that was into bondage and all this other stuff.
Oh, she looks pretty good in that outfit.
I can believe it.
Yeah, but like you guys said, it's and that was one of the reasons why I wanted to give some of you guys a platform, and of course anybody from the 757. geek fandoms or the Cosmic Portal, any of you ladies want to join in, give me a message, a PM me, and we'll see about getting you in here to help on the discussion. But yeah, as you're running this down in my mind, I'm sitting there going, oh my God, yeah, we really kind of have a problem with these characters. I recently watched She-Hulk. I don't know if anybody on the panel has watched it.
I haven't seen
Yeah.
She-Hulk yet.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm She-Hulk from when John Byrne wrote it, and it was kind of highly over-sexualized, but I love this She-Hulk. I don't care what anybody says. I like Disney She-Hulk.
I do.
Funny.
I like her. She's funnier. She's not as overly sexual to me. I mean, she's good looking, but she's got brains as well. She comes across as very smart.
Yes. So Slave Leia. And of course, now being the climate that we are, we have to it's Prisoner Leia or something like that. I mean, it is what it is.
Hey, Calibus?
Yes, ma'am.
There are a couple of male movie things that we have had the exact opposite for us girls, like Beastmaster.
Yeah.
For instance.
Yes. You're very true. Very true.
Aquaman.
Conan.
Who else is out there?
Conan, yeah.
Conan. But the one I remember the most is Beastmaster because hubba.
Well, that's it's funny that you say that, and we have Waya Meeker here. Yeah, I'm sure she and we have Jinky talking about I'm with Miss Liz on that. Yeah, because it's funny, that movie, out of all the DC movies, we had to see Aquaman, and we go inside GameStop, and they have his trident or his mother's trident. I had to buy that, and I don't know if that was some type of little fantasy she had in her mind or what, but I have that trident, and no. There's a meme on the internet where the guy goes, oh Lord, the guy goes, what she thought, and it shows Jason Momoa, and then it's got this fat guy coming out of the water. That would be me. So, ladies, let's talk about what is age appropriate and in costuming. Now we see a lot of young ladies now. They're wearing, the like, and I really don't want to put this out there like that. With a rake. Oh, it's with a rake. Yeah, he's got the rake when he comes out of the water instead of the trident. But they're always going for this, sexier look. And I would like to know from you, how do you feel about that being age appropriate? Should younger girls be allowed? I'm pretty old fashioned, and with my daughter, I told her that, skin tight this and all that was just not going to fly here in my house. I can't imagine going to a convention and seeing a bodysuit and, all this being exposed. So let's get your thoughts on that, and let's start with Miss Patricia.
Unfortunately, media shows all the stars in fairly revealing outfits. Costume industry is geared more towards anything 7 down to 0, and not a good thing, I don't think, for younger females to be drawn to that. You can be a powerful, badass woman and not have to expose everything under the sun.
I totally understand that. Miss Liz, your thoughts?
Well, sweet Calibus, uh, unfortunately, I have had an eyeful because I used to go down to Dragon Con on a regular basis. And they need to have a little bit more control over the G, than I've, I suppose it's up to the parents, but there are some rather risque outfits, and that's the nicest way I'm going to put it. That the young ladies run around in that don't pretty much have almost nothing covered. A fig leaf would be considered covering. Pasties, and I've seen a couple of guys do it too, but it's mostly the girls, and it seems to be the thing, especially at night. It's pretty, and so I think that it's pretty much pushing it. I think that young ladies should wait, if you know what I mean, until they to appropriate age.
Yeah, I get
So
that.
they don't end up being targets and end up on the wrong side of you know what.
Well,
Because there are people out there that would just love to scoop them up, if you know what I mean.
oh, definitely. They had an incident.
So I've been there. I've seen it. It's quite an eyeful, and thank God there's a lot of Atlanta policemen at the convention during that time, because there's some rather interesting outfits, if you want to call it that.
Okay, well, they had an incident and with Gary Busey.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm not going to get into that, but it's online.
Oh, it doesn't surprise me. Gary Busey's over the deep end anyway.
But I totally get what you say. Lady Gray, what is your take on this?
Completely agree. Example. So, a few years ago when Harley Quinn burst on the scene, all the young girls wanted to be Harley Quinn. And I went to, I think it was Hampton Comic-Con, and there must have been 24 girls under the age of 15 in booty shorts and tank tops and go-go boots or whatever, everything all hanging out both ends, completely unage appropriate. And some of the guys, just were looking at them, and you're inviting, like Miss Liz said, you're inviting something bad to happen like that you are in no way prepared to handle yet. You don't have the experience to.
I was working Halloween, and I knew it was coming. And ladies, let me just say this: there are some people that should just not put on a Harley Quinn costume. Oh my God, no! You just, oh God! But again, that was our biggest seller, and like you said, it was young girls 13, 14, and their moms are helping pick them out, and I'm like, are you serious? This is not somebody that you idolize. This is not somebody that you know what I mean? You and unfortunately with Miss Quinn, I loved her as the Joker's sidekick, or as his Joker's girlfriend. I love that dynamic. Now, I'm not saying that every man should push his lover out of the window like the Joker did, but now she's gotten that anti-hero status. I watched the Harley Quinn show on HBO Max. I only watch it because I have to report about it when I do these vidcasts. So I'm not a big fan of the show. I think it's really sophomore humor enough for HBO to have these heroes curse. But a lot of people look up to that. And then they want to try to emulate that character, and they know nothing of the character. What they know is Suicide Squad. And believe me, the only Harley Quinn thing that Harley Quinn did in that movie, it was the second movie, is when she did what she did after she did what she did, because I don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't watched it. It's an okay movie, but there's a scene that's truly Harley Quinn. But the rest of this crap, and it's a shame that a lot of young ladies think they identify with that character, which kind of bothers me. What kind of society are we raising where we think people identify with this character? You know what I mean? And try to emulate all that with the craziness. Yeah, we need better people, Wyatt, to definitely watch I don't know about you guys, but with my daughter, I kind of was like, I was a little bit harder on her than I was with the boys, of course, but because I told her, oh, no one's going to take you seriously. If you dress a certain way, they're not going to take you seriously. As a woman in this society, they're not going to take you seriously. They're going to look you up and down. They're going to see the hair. They're going to see your body, and they're not going to take you seriously. So, luckily, she kind of didn't want to really kind of do the princess thing. She always kind of was, boyish, daddy's girl, but boyish, and she wanted to do what daddy wanted to do. So that kind of saved me. But it's just amazing to me that we have this, you know what I mean? And at the conventions now, of course, with anime, we have the gender bending of. All right, Jedi Joe, that's pretty cool. I'm just saying, there's just certain things to that character that people need to watch out for. And now, of course, we have all this gender bending stuff,
especially with the younger crowd. If you're old enough to know better, then it's okay. But if you're, like you said, below 15, younger crowd, I think that we should be a little bit more,
Well, I agree with you, ladies. I personally, I wouldn't let my daughter do it. We were at the Central Library, and there was a girl there in an anime costume.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean,
wow.
She was in some booty shorts. They
didn't even cover her
booty.
all
out there. And look, I'm a 52-year-old man. I don't need to be seeing that on a younger body doing all that other stuff. I just, you know what I mean? So, and look, for me, I kept saying where her father was at, and then I found out her father was at the convention, but her boyfriend showed up, and her boyfriend stood behind her every step of the way, or wherever she went, he was behind her. So bravo to that young man, understanding that, yeah, you shouldn't have wore that. Now, I get it. A lot of women feel empowered by that thing. But when does empowerment and costume kind of outweigh each other? I want you guys to think about that for a second, and then I'm going to start asking you what you thought on that, or what you think on that. All right. So when does the empowerment of a sexy costume outweigh, maybe I shouldn't do that? So you guys ready? All right. I am going to start with Miss Patricia.
Well, okay. I think empowerment is when you have your enough self-confidence in yourself that you probably really don't have to dress as scantily as some people do. It's how you carry yourself. The person should own the costume, not the costume own the person, if that makes any sense.
I like
Makes
that.
good sense.
Yes.
Very
I
good
definitely
sense.
agree.
Yes.
I definitely agree. All right, Ms. Lady Gray.
I think it's a matter of self-respect. And I mean, so I want to be taken seriously for my mind, not and if everything's all hanging out and I'm so overly sexualized, they're not going to even notice I've got a brain, much less take it seriously. All they're going to see is what's hanging out. And, let's face it, beauty fades, but your brain, an intelligent woman is much more valuable in the long run.
Love that answer. That was great. Ms. Liz.
I totally agree with this Lady Gray that you have to have self-respect. You have to not throw yourself out there and as flesh, meat, eye candy. I think you should be interested in the person for their personality and for their brains, and not because of what you can get from them right then and there. If you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah, we know what you mean, Miss Liz. Well, ladies, I'm gonna I loved all these answers, and I hope you enjoyed doing this show. Okay, this show, like I said, mostly what we do is kind of like a fanboy thing, but there's also a fangirl part to this. And you ladies right now are that voice, because you don't get many shows like this where you guys get to express your opinions, your thoughts, and it kind of be unfiltered. So I want to thank you again. Lady Gray, you're the new moderator of this venture. Whenever you guys are ready to do a show, you let me know. We'll pump it back up here and we'll promote it as much as we can. And I really enjoy hearing your thoughts, and it makes me a better person. It makes me a better man. It makes me a better father. And not to always exploit women as much as I thought I didn't do. But I must admit, Orion Slave Girls and Princess Leia was one of my things. And now I kind of go, ooh, you need to keep that to yourself, son. So, ladies, I want you to have a great night. We have a new t-shirt idea. I'm going to run that by you. Lady Gray came up with it. And I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. Jedi Joe apparently loves it. Geek Girls rule. Again, you ladies are the new matriarchs of fandom. Of course, you have a nice little crew with you. Abigail couldn't be here today, but she will be back next time with you guys to do the show. And
I think she has some serious comments on,
oh yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure she would.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever you guys come up with next, let me know, and then we'll run another show. All right.
All right.
All right, ladies. I want to thank you. And does anybody have a closing statement? No. All right, then we'll cut it off here, and I will see you next time on the Matriarchs of Fandom.